Hi guys, so today I am going to go over your math project for the geometry topic. So instead of giving you a test for topic 16, you're going to get a little project, okay? Before we move on to explaining the project, I'm going to go over these two posters behind me because that's what you're really going to need in the project, okay? So I'm going to move this so that you can see this poster. And this is in the way, so if I need to move it. Okay, yeah. All right. So remember, a plane is just a flat surface. So where you draw your project, I already gave you a clue. I said draw. So your project is going to take place on a plane. It's going to be a flat surface. Okay? Remember, a point is an exact location. Okay? And in geometry, when we're talking about like points, we usually label them with letters, but for your project, you're going to label it a little different. Okay? So points just any spot on a plane. And then line, you won't really need it, but a line, it extends in both ways, so it keeps going on this end and it keeps going on this end. Array, you won't really need it for your project, but still good to review. Remember, it ends on one end and it keeps going on the other end. And we have a line segment where it stops at both ends. This you will need for your project, okay? Parallel lines. Remember, parallel lines, they run in the same direction, but they're never going to touch. So they could either run like this, they can run like this, they can run like this, they can run like this, but they're always going to stay the same distance apart, and they're never going to touch each other. Intersecting lines, you will need it, but not really. They're just lines that cross each other at any point, okay? If they can make a perfect X, they can make a perfect X, they can make a perfect T, they can cross like this, but if the lines touch, they're intersecting. And we have perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines, oh, you can't really see it. Perpendicular lines form that perfect cross. So that means that at each corner, you're going to have a square corner, kind of like when you see an L or a plus sign, okay? Perfect square corner. And we have a right angle. A right angle is what you get when you have perpendicular lines. Okay, let me bring this closer. So you see those perpendicular lines right there? Okay, you see how each corner forms a square corner? Those are all right angles. So up here, you have one right angle. Down here, when you have perpendicular lines, you have 4 right angles. Okay? So then you have an acute angle. Remember, an acute angle, it's smaller than 90 degrees, it's closed up. An obtuse angle is bigger than 90 degrees, and then a straight angle is just like a straight line. Okay? And then we're going to review this poster over here. Okay, this is recent, so you should remember most of it. So remember a quadrilateral? It's a polygon. Remember, a polygon is a figure with sides and angles that is closed. So it can have 7 sides and 7 angles. It could have 10 sides and 10 angles, but it has to be made up of straight lines. It can't be curved or wavy, and it has to close. It can't have an open gap, or else it's not a polygon. Okay? So that's a quadrilateral, and a quadrilateral has 4 sides and 4 angles. Okay, quad. Remember those bikes that you ride on the sand? 4 wheels. So that means 4 sides, 4 angles. Quadrilaterals. Okay. The quadrilateral has many different types of shapes. Okay. So as long as it has 4 sides and 4 angles, it is a quadrilateral. Pay attention to this part. As long as it has 4 sides and 4 angles, it is a quadrilateral. Now let's get specific. You have parallelograms. A parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel sides. So one pair of parallel sides. Here's the other pair of parallel sides. Then underneath the parallelogram, you have a rhombus. A rhombus has two pairs of parallel sides. Yep. But it has four equal sides. That means that all four sides are equal. But then we have a rectangle. A rectangle also has two pairs of parallel sides. This is parallel and this is parallel. This is parallel and this is parallel. However, unlike a rhombus, a rectangle has four right angles. Okay. Then we have these two that are best friends and they make a square. Okay. A square is a parallelogram because it has two parallel sides. It's a rhombus because all sides are equal. And it's also a rectangle because it has four right angles. Okay, so these are parallelograms. They're all quadrilaterals. But then we have these guys over here, non-parallelograms. They're not parallelograms because they only have one pair or they have no pairs of parallel sides. So we have a trapezoid, and I misspelled this. I just noticed it like 2 days ago. It's P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. A trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides, so right here, and that's it. And the kite has two pairs of equal sides, but there are no parallel sides, okay? So this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side, but none of the sides are parallel, okay? So now that we reviewed this, I'm going to go on to explain your project, okay? So this video is going to be on Google Classroom, and it's going to be titled Math Geometry Project, but then there's going to be a Google Doc that is going to have everything that I'm going to say right now. It's going to be on that Google Doc so that you know exactly what you have to do. That Google Doc is going to be titled GeoCity. That's right, you're making your own city, okay? Now, what you will need in order to do this is a big piece of paper. Preferably, I would rather you guys do it on a big white poster, but that would require, if you don't have it at your house, that would require you going to the store, like Dollar Tree or 99-cent store or something, and getting it there. You don't have to do that, okay? If you have it at home or if your parents are like, yeah, let's go get it, fine, okay? But you don't have to. The reason I want a big poster is because you have more room, okay? If you were to do it on a little piece of paper like this, it would be really squished. You can do it, but you're going to have a hard time because you're going to run out of space, okay? So if you want something bigger to work with, but your parents say, no, we can go get you a big poster, there's a way around it, okay? So you're going to have to get creative. So you're going to have to get 4 sheets of plain paper, okay? 4 sheets of plain paper. Then, so mine aren't plain, so I'm just using this as an example because I don't have plain paper in my house right now, okay? Except for this, but the backside has stuff on it. So this is 1 sheet. This is the other sheet. Here's the other sheet. And here's the other sheet. Okay. Now, how do you get these to stick together? You can tape them right here. You can ask your parents for help, okay? But if you can't go to the store and get a big poster board, this is what you can do, okay? You get 4 plain pieces of paper, and you put them together like this, and you tape them, okay? Let's say your parents do go get you a poster, okay? You're gonna have a lot of space to work on it. You can even cut it in half if you need to, okay? Mine isn't the big kind, it's a little smaller. I cut some off because the other one was way too big to work with. So I cut it a little smaller. So here it is. I'm not going to show it to you yet. Okay. So on that Google Doc, it's going to give you all the instructions. It's going to say, in your GeoCity, you need at least this, at least that. So make sure you read every part so that you know exactly what your city needs. Okay? Now, wind blew it off. I'm going to read what it needs. Okay? And this will all be on the Google Doc, so don't worry about it. Okay? So, let me get closer. At least 2 sets of parallel streets. I'm saying at least because if you want to do more, go ahead, okay? But you need at least 2 sets of parallel streets. At least 1 set of perpendicular streets. At least 1 set of streets that make an obtuse angle. And I'm going to show you this later, so if you don't get it, I'll show you. At least 1 set of streets that make an acute angle. So once you draw, these are all your streets, okay? So you drew your streets, and now after that, you need to draw a school at a right angle. So on your map with all the streets, you're going to find a right angle, and you're going to draw a school there. Then you're going to draw a park at a right angle. So you're going to find another right angle, and you're going to draw a park, okay? Then you're going to draw an ice cream shop at an acute corner. So remember, an acute corner would be a corner that forms like this. It's smaller than a right angle. So you're going to find an acute corner and you're going to draw an ice cream shop. Then you're going to draw a police station at a right angle. So you're going to find another right angle and draw a police station. You're going to draw a mall at a right angle. So you're going to find another right angle and you're going to draw a mall. Okay. Then you're going to need at least 4 quadrilaterals in your city. Okay, remember, you can pick any of these to draw as your quadrilaterals. Those of you who I know can take on a challenge, you know who you are. I want you to pick I want you to pick 4 different ones. So you need at least 4 quadrilaterals. I want you to pick 4 different ones. Okay? If you want to draw all of them, that's more than 4, that's fine. Okay? But I want you to draw 4 different ones if you can take on the challenge. If you were like, I'm not really sure, it's okay. Pick the ones you feel comfortable with. Okay? So you need at least 4 quadrilaterals, and you need 1 labeled point. Remember, a point is just an exact location, and it says labeled. I'll show you how right now, okay? Now, here is mine. Let me get it as close to it so you can see. Okay, I'm gonna let you look. So here's my, I'll explain right now. Okay, so my map has some stuff that I didn't mention, and I'll explain why right now, okay? Okay. I'm gonna take this. Okay. I hope you guys are okay with this because I'm about to move this off. Right. this one up. I've made a lot of posters since learning from home started. Okay, so really close. All right, so let's go over my thing again. All right, we need at least 2 sets of parallel streets. So here are my 2 sets of parallel streets. Okay, this street right here is parallel to this street. Okay, so that's one set. And then can you find the other set of parallel streets? Yep. This street right here is parallel to this street right here. Okay, so those are my 2 sets. This street and this street and this street and this street. Okay? So check if you want to do more, go ahead, but at least 2. Okay? Try not to do too many. Okay? Then we need at least 1 set of perpendicular streets. At least 1 set of perpendicular streets. So remember, perpendicular forms a cross. So closer. Do we see anything that forms a cross? I see a few. I see that. Oh wait, I have another pair of parallel streets. I didn't even notice. Right here and right here. So I have 3 sets. Ooh, go Cespi, go Miss Cespi. All right. So perpendicular streets. I have 4 actually. I didn't even notice this. Man, I am a genius. Okay. So this street right here is parallel. Is perpendicular to this street and this street. You see how it forms a cross right here and right here? Okay. And over here, this street right here is perpendicular to this street and this street. You see how it forms a cross here and a cross here? Yeah, so I have a right angle here, a right angle here, here and here, here and here, here and there, here and here, and here and here, here and here, and here and here. Okay, next, at least 1 set of streets that make an obtuse angle. Okay, so now I need to add a street in there that's going to give me an obtuse angle. Okay. Well, let's see. Here's an obtuse angle. Okay. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Okay. What I did is I made this street first. Okay. And then I made this street and this street. So those are my 2 parallel, that's 1 set of parallel streets, okay? Then I added this one in, and the reason I did it slanted is because I knew that if I drew a slanted street, it was going to give me obtuse angles and acute angles, okay? So here's your hint. If you make streets that are just straight up and down or straight left and right, you're only going to get right angles, okay? But if you make streets that are angled this way or this way, you'll get obtuse and acute, okay? So remember that, okay? So there's an obtuse angle, 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 okay? See how it opens bigger than 90 degrees? Then I need at least 1 set of streets to make an So remember, if you slant your streets, you get obtuse and acute angles. There's an acute angle. See how it's smaller than 90 degrees? There's an acute angle. There's an acute angle. There's an acute angle. All right, so slanted streets help make obtuse and acute angles. Straight up and down and side to side streets only make right angles. Okay, so remember that when you're making your streets. Then you need a school at a right angle. So you're going to look at your map once you do all your streets. You're going to look at your map and you're going to say, I need to find a right angle to make a school at. Do I care which one? Nope, I don't care which angle you pick, as long as it's a right angle. Okay, so I decided to make my school here, okay, at this right angle. So I see how I labeled the building school. Okay, then a park at a right angle. Wait, that's not what I meant. I meant a park at an obtuse. Duh. Alright, I'll fix that later. So here's my obtuse angle. I found my obtuse angle and I drew my park. Okay, I drew swings, I drew a slide, trees, a pond. Okay, then where's my other one? I needed to draw an ice cream shop at an acute corner. Acute corner. Let me see. Ice cream shop. There it is. All right. So here's my acute angle, my acute corner, and there is my ice cream shop. Okay, you can tell it's an ice cream shop because there's an ice cream cone on top of it. Then I needed to make a police station at a right corner or a right angle. So there's my police station. Let me get you closer. Okay. See how it has the badge for the police, and here's my right angle. Okay. Then I had to make a mall at a right angle. There's my mall. So here's my right angle, and here is my mall. Okay. Then I need at least 4 quadrilaterals in my city. Okay. 4 quadrilaterals. Do you guys see any quadrilaterals in here? I'll let you study it. Because I do. I see many. So I challenged myself and I tried to include all of the quadrilaterals. So you see here, here's a square. Here's a parallelogram. Here are a bunch of squares. The door is a rectangle. Right here, the top of the grocery store, it's a trapezoid. This is parallel to this right here. Here's another rectangle. Here's a rectangle, the gas sign. Here's a rectangle, the mall sign. All right, so your shapes have to be included in your buildings or your cars. Okay, gotta get creative. Gotta make that brain work. And then you need one labeled point. Okay, so this is my point right here. I'm gonna get you closer so you can see what it says. There's my point. I put a little star. You know how when you're at the mall, you're trying to find something, and then there's a little directory that tells you where you are. Okay, I put you are here. So that's my labeled point. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it right here. So that's what you need to include. Okay, you have to include that. In order to get full credit, you have to include all that stuff that I just said. Okay, then if you want to go above and beyond, which I hope you do, okay, I want you to add more things. What else do you think would be in a city? Okay, so on top of the ice cream shop, the mall, the school, the park, the police station. I put a movie theater. Okay, so here's the cinema. I put a hospital. I put a church. I put a grocery store. I put a tract of homes. I put a gas station. Because those are typically things that you would find in a city, right? All of those things. You have to, okay, so this is going to be on your Google Doc too. You have to label your streets, okay? Streets have names, or else how do people know where to turn when they're finding somewhere? Okay, so your streets need to have names. So this street right here is World Way. This street right here is Broadway Circle. This right here is Cherry Tree Lane. This right here is Country Road. This is Main Street. And this is Center Court. Okay? You can name them whatever you want as long as it's school appropriate. Okay? I don't care what you name them. Just make it school appropriate. And then you have to name your city. Okay, there has to be a name. I decided to name mine Tree Hill after one of my favorite shows, One Tree Hill. Okay? And last but not least, I need to see color in there. Too many of you are turning in work when I ask you to color it and make it neat. I have seen way too much work being turned in with just pencil or pen. Okay? Don't be lazy. You are at home. Okay? You have time to color and put your best effort into this. Okay, this is probably one of the last things you are going to turn in for math in 4th grade. So it doesn't have to be as big as mine, but it does need to be neat and colorful. Okay, I don't want to see your project turned in with just pencil and paper. Get creative. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to the Google Docs so you know exactly what you need, and maybe you can write what you need on a piece of paper and check it off so you know that you've included it in your math. Okay, and that's it. So that's your GeoCity project. All right, hope you guys have fun doing it. Bye.